Now we're going to head into the winner matches of Group B, which is going to be between Risky, who obviously I said earlier got a bye straight through, and then Richie, who just won. But getting into Ancient Cistern on game for map 1, which I think is a Zerg map, so I'm surprised that we're playing this one. I quite like it. I don't mind it at all. Spawning in the blue in the top left. I don't know who Dunmer is, and I don't know why he did not show. I guess because he didn't want to play against the #1 seed, which honestly can't blame him. In the top right, I should say, not top left, in the blue, once again, is GamerRichy playing for Berserker. And in the bottom left, in the red, playing for Team Stormgate, is Risky. Okay, we're not seeing any 15-15 shenanigans from Risky, which has been... Okay, we had a pause by the looks of it. No sound, okay. Not seeing any 15, but we are going to get a 16 pool out of Richie. I think this is not going to be aggressive. You can't really do too much with early lings, but he's probably a bit worried about like a proxy racks or something, which you can obviously like open more aggressive against and be more safe against if you open 16 pool. And I think for Richie, he's not too scared about playing against Richie. Risky, and Richie's going to go really old. Playing against Richie, so he's going to open 16 and then 17 hatch, and then he'll probably take a gas behind this, I would guess. See if he's going to make any links and head across. No, okay, yeah, he's just going to drone through it. One pair of links, and then queen to follow it. Yep. 4 and then gas. Cool. Then for Richie is going to be grabbing his expansion. Already got the Reaper on the way, so he should be pretty safe. Yeah, it's 2 lings. He's even scouting with the with an SCV, so he's going to see like exactly what Risky opened. I think when you see this gas timing, you're not too worried about like early all-ins either, because you know that their like speed isn't going to be that fast. You know, it's not going to be like really quick roaches. So we'll see. That said, Richie is going to get a bunker just to be really safe. I guess he didn't get deep enough in to know if there were 2 gases taken, which, you know, could be a sign of some kind of roach aggression or roach build. And had to, you know, dip early because of the lings harassing his scouting worker, but we'll see if that pays off. Honestly, I think the bunker isn't too big of an investment. Obviously, it slows a few things down, but you're really safe, and then you just refund it when you're no longer needing it. Risky's queen is going to come out and meet the Reaper, so that is going to get shooed away. He's going to go for the main, but obviously Risky knows, so lings are going to catch this. On the other side, we do have the factory coming through and the reactor, so I wonder if this will be fast Hellions. I would guess fast Hellions. And this is going to 3 racks Risky as well, which, you know, is completely possible, but we'll see. Reaper's going to dance around and just be a little bit annoying for a little while, and then promptly leave, I would guess. Doesn't manage to stop the third going down, so Risky does get a quick third timing. I think in general, you know, the opening wasn't optimal, but I think it did what it needed to do. He's pretty safe against any kind of proxy play. It's going to lose the Reaper for nothing. Not really sure why he went for that. Kind of an aggressive play. And now Risky can push out with his... Okay, just a 1 ling. Doesn't really need to get too aggro on the map, and obviously if there are Hellions coming across, he could lose one of those lings for free, which is pretty not ideal. Sending the 1 is quite safe. It is going to be a reactor follow, tech lab follow-up, sorry. I expect he'll switch the Starport on and play Banshee. It seems to be pretty safe against most things. I need the 1 Marine in the bunker, but obviously Risky's not going for an aggro play, so not to worry about that at all. And we do have some Hellions out and moving across, so Richie's pretty safe and secure. God, Risky's so good. Just predicting like every maneuver. He's got queens there already. Picking off the Reaper was really good, and now he's like blocking the Hellions from getting through, so decent spot for Risky after a non-optimal opener. He's, you know, doing pretty fine. It's going to be pretty standard timing for the Roach Warren. I think he's only mining 1 gas, but he did skip oh no, he didn't skip link speed. He has link speed done, but he's kept in gas, so he might go for a few and just try and poke, but I'm not sure it's going to get too much done. We do have the Liberator out. not really sure on this opener for Richie. He's had this tech lab for a little while and hasn't done anything with it. And it is going to be 3 racks. He can't help himself. The man's possessed. Which unfortunately Richie's going to see straight away. Like, as soon as it goes down, Richie is here with the Overlord. Sees everything. We'll see if it's a fake, and he changes his mind and cancels the stim, but something tells me that that's not Richie's MO. Does have the Hellions kept on his side of the map, and he's obviously switched out of Hellions and has gone instead into tank production. So I think this can be just a 3 racks tank push. Richie is getting a few roaches, just 2 for now. I'm not really sure why he needs them, unless he's trying to be aggressive. Maybe it's just for safety against the Hellions. And he's droning pretty hard behind it, going up to his 4th now, so yeah, we'll see. Quick layer coming through. And more gas. Okay, this is looking more and more like muters to me, but we'll see. Could be some kind of like roach hydra push, or just like really upgraded roach push, but I expect we see the spire as soon as the layer is done. I might be way off. I'm looking way off. Yeah, it's going to be roach speed. I think it's just quite... Yeah, okay. And there's the upgrades coming through. Not sure about the opener. I think it could have been a bit cleaner. Like, you know, we're floating plenty of gas and we can get 1-1 going pretty quick. Not sure I like the roaches against the... Wait, am I actually calling both of them Richie? God damn it. Anyway. Not sure I like the roaches against a 3 racks. I think you kind of need the... Banelings? I just prefer Banelings against like mass bio like this is. It's actually going up for another 2 racks and then grabbing a 1-1. So I think, yeah, instead of going for a tank push, he's going for like quite fast timing. Should be pretty safe with the tank and the upgraded Marines coming through pretty soon. Risky on the other hand, maybe going for some kind of push. He's only making roaches now, so he's cut at like 66 workers, pumping roaches, 1-1 and roach speed. I wonder if we'll make a move before roach speed is done. Or like before the upgrades, but you know, at the time that roach speed is done, I mean. I feel like we're mining a bit much gas. We are on all 6, which feels high. Yeah, lots of overlords, so I would guess it's going to be kind of a big roach push. Honestly, I don't hate it. Richie kind of has not a lot of units. He had like that 1 lib that got picked off. He's got a few tanks, literally 2, and a bunch of Marines. And you know, Marines are decent against roaches, but not amazing. Risky is going to go back through for another Overseer Scout and is again going to see everything. Meanwhile, we have just a small Marine drop on the other side of the map. I think picked up a Queen. Yeah, just 1 Queen went down. He does see this Roach swell, so Risky's going to make a move with it now, with another 11 on the way. Let's see. I would like some Ravagers, I think, from Risky. Could be really good just for biling up those few tanks, but there's really not enough tanks for Risky to be really scared. God damn it. So I wonder if we're going to see Gaming Richard get a little bit A-moved here. We'll see. Yeah, okay, there's 7 Ravagers, so it only takes 3 to bile out a tank, so obviously it's going to knock these 2 down pretty quick. Going to be 1-1 against 1-1, so everyone's, you know, pretty equal. It's going to be interesting to see how Richie holds. Big stim, and he has to kind of kite around and try and dodge the biles where he can. Unfortunately, these tanks are moving a little bit far away, and they're not really getting too much done. It's not looking great for Richie, I won't lie. Turns out you can just A-move roaches, even in quite high GM. That's going to be it for Richie. Yikes. Let's see then. It's going to hop over into game number 2. This time I'm not spoiled, so I don't know. This time on Babylon. So I don't know who wins this series. Babylon, again, we saw already in the series. I think it's a pretty fair map. One of the more balanced in the pool, in my opinion. Down here in the blue, playing for Berserker, is Gaming Richard. And in the top left, playing in the red for Team Stormgate, I guess. I wonder if he got to the alpha. I'll have to message him and ask. Is Risky up 1-0? Let's see. No. There you go. If anyone knows how to say it, make it say not best of 1, then let me know. Wait, is it this? No, no idea. Okay. So it was kind of a defensive opener from Risky, and as we saw, he just like didn't need to open standard. Didn't need to really play too aggressive, and he's doing the same this game, 16 pool. Would be interesting to see if he goes for something a little bit more aggro, now that Richie kind of saw that opener. And kind of, I don't know, kind of weathered it, kind of lived through it, and was like, okay, that wasn't anything, that wasn't a big deal. I know what that is, it's not that scary. And then this game, Richie can play kind of, Risky can play kind of more aggro, do something a bit weird, but I'm not convinced he will. You know, obviously last game went fine for him, was not a problem at all. Going to be interesting to see what Richie mixes up. Not really sure about the build last game. Didn't look super crisp to me. And obviously, Risky got a couple of really big scouts off and just kind of saw everything. And once you've been scouted with an opener like that, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do because you're not really ever going to surprise the opponent. So Richie is going to come in with the Worker Scout and is going to see the exact same opener from the game before. Same gas timing and everything, and this time sees both. Going to get the Worker harassed away, and this is slightly more Lings. Yeah, it does lose it pretty early. So the Lings are kind of free to go across. By sending the Lings across, you can kind of make the Reaper stay home, since otherwise you're going to get your low ground CC harassed, and Risky knows this, so he's going to split the Lings, 2 on the south and then 2 on the north. And this way he can really dodge the Reaper. So Richie is probably going to catch the 2 Lings. Let's see, where are these rallied? Might catch all of them, we'll see. He's going to catch the 2 coming from the south. And Risky should be able to just sort of dodge by with the other 2 Lings and harass what he can. Isn't going to get a huge amount done, especially with the bunker finishing up. Can go for the main, and he gets to see, you know, the reactor start and the factory coming through, so he knows it's 1-1-1 opening rather than like a 2-1-1 or a 3-Rex, that sort of thing. Which I suppose it could still be 2-1-1, but we'll see. Now the Reaper is more free to go across the map, I think, with the Lings. Nah, just the first 2 got cleaned up, so the other 2 got sent home. Again, the Queen can come out and harass the Reaper a little bit. It does look like the Reaper's going to be a bit more annoying and stop the... Nah, never mind. The hatch gets out always. Richie is going to confirm that. So this is, you know, the same exact openers as game 1. Here's the 1-1-1, so we're going to get quick into Hellions. Be interested to see what the Rax does. I would guess a Tech Lab. Yeah. So Richie is pulling out of gas this game instead of staying in like he did in game 1. Just droning pretty hard. It was kind of a safe opener, and you know, with the Queen out this early, you're never really going to get harassed too much by the Reaper. He loses those Lings and obviously takes a little bit of an eco hit, but he gains quite a lot of momentum in the game. You know, gets some scouting in, doesn't get his workers harassed, doesn't have to worry about losing anything. So it's going to be a Viking, which normally telegraphs like a BC opener, but it can be a Liberator. So we'll see if there's going to be a Fusion Core coming down, and then he switches this onto the Tech Lab or something. Could just be Banshees, I guess, but normally just open straight into the Banshees. Tech the... Okay, we've got a bunch of add-ons not doing anything. Not sure I love it. This factory's going to go and make even more add-ons so we can do even less with them. I think it's kind of poking around on the map, but obviously we're only making the first 4. You can sometimes go 6 or 8, but Richie's just going for the 4 and then calling it quits. We are seeing the Roach Roaring again, slightly later than in game 1 for Risky. Again, yeah, Banelings I think are, I guess, preferable, but some people are really comfortable playing Roaches, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and Risky's going to stick with that. Queens are always in position because of Risky's insane Overlord spread. You know, he really has a really good like ring of vision, so he sees everything, and even goes in with the Overlord Scout. Doesn't manage to get shooed away by the Viking in time, so he sees everything once again. So he knows now it's Stimp on the way. He knows it's tanks, and then he even sees the other 2 rats coming through. So it's the exact same openers on both sides, which is obviously really exciting. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. Obviously, we know how it played out in game 1. And I wonder if Richie's got sort of any adjustments he can make to, you know, make this game go a little bit smoother. Viking's a good touch. You know, it really helps to deny this ring of vision, like we were saying. But he didn't invest too heavily into the Hellions, so even when they dive, they're not going to get a huge amount done. I think it's 2 more racks a little bit faster for for Richie down here in the bottom of the base. So he's going to have, I guess, more Marines quicker, but I think in the last game it was all about the tanks, and in this game, yeah, he's got to be on top of keeping the tank production high. Gonna take another fast 30C with 1-1 on the way. Looking pretty standard for Richie. We do have some roaches on the field for Risky. Again, I think these are just for safety. Like, he's investing quite heavily, and he cut sort of quite a lot earlier than he did in game 1. We went up to like 66 workers in game 1, and now we're only at 56 in this game before we're going quite heavy on the roaches. And he's gonna shoo the Hellions away. Did we get a lair? Yeah, we do. So no roach speed. Interesting. Droning pretty hard and taking this top base. Droning really hard. We are going to end up over at the 66 worker mark. Even going above that actually to 71 workers. Okay, roach speed starting now. Not sure this is the most optimal way to play. I wouldn't copy this build, but gets the job done, I guess. On the other hand, Richie is going to be securing his third, getting plenty more tanks, I'm sure. Hopefully just pumping tanks, since he knows that there's already quite a lot of roaches on the field. It's going to be quite a fast infestation pit and a bane nest for Risky. Oh, why don't you change the name? Which is an interesting choice. I think infestors are a good choice. Fast hive, he's probably got a big enough economy to go for, especially with this 4th and then 5th, double expand, kind of uninterrupted coming through. Richie is moving out with kind of unupgraded roaches and just a few lings. I'm not really sure he's allowed to do this. Not really sure this is legal, but we'll see. I guess there aren't any tanks ready in production covering this third. Maybe we need to move one of these 3 down into a better spot. Like I said, Richie really is just pumping the tanks in this game. We've got like constant tank production going on. Another factory might be a good idea if we're getting up onto the into 3 bases. Maybe some more racks as well. Armory coming through so we can get into +2. In this game, Risky is a little bit slower on the 1-1. Really quick hive coming through, which I don't mind. And it's going to be interesting to see what we go for. So it's going to be a bunch of Ravagers, a bunch of Lings. So it's not going to be Infestors, so I guess maybe Ultras, but we'll see. It'll just be Crackling upgrade, I guess, and we'll just, stick with the big Ling push type thing. But we'll see. So yeah, Risky's knocking down a lot of rocks, opening the map up, which obviously favours the Zerg a lot more. A decent little trade for Richie, but obviously not the end of the world for either player. Risky's creep spread's looking really good and really uninterrupted. I think just because Richie lost the Hellions quite quick. It's going to be a bit of a queen walk coming through. We'll see. He's going to be able to bust down these rocks and get into the third quite fast. I'm hoping there's plenty of tanks in position, but there actually aren't because this one was blocking the ramp. We do have 3 here though that we can move down and get into a decent spot. But we also have like plenty of Ravagers that can bust them out. So I'm going to hit 1-1. We're going to hit Baneling Speed. It's just finishing up. Unsure what we're going to use the Hive for. Maybe Vipers could be good in this spot. But honestly, I think Risky's looking pretty okay. His economy has gone really uninterrupted, unimpeded. But he's gotten away with quite a lot in this game, has to be said. His production is really kicking off. So there it is. Crackling and the Vipers coming through. We'll see. It does look like Risky's starting to get an attack sort of built up. Getting even decent trades with these Banelings, just because his creep is so far forward and Richie has to use these Marines to try and clear it. It's just so many lanes, it's insane. So we'll see now with the Vipers popping, they'll grab some energy and then head across the map, I would guess. Some big blinding clouds here could really shut down a lot of these tanks, or even just pulling them in could be good. Okay, and there's the Ultra Cavern now. I would like to see some more bases since we have so much map control for Risky. Let's see. It's just so many lanes and Richie's really getting pressed into his little corner of the map. Would be cool to see a 4th, I guess, but I'm not sure he really feels like he can take it because Risky's economy is just so huge. Still just making a bunch of lings, which are soon going to have +1, +2, and the attack speed upgrade. Bunch of Banelings being morphed. I wonder if we're going to wait for Ultras. I don't really think we need them. We are starting to bank a huge amount though, so maybe we can just remax on the Ultras. They're kind of slow if you have to wait for the upgrades to finish for the Ultras. Richie doing a good job of dodging the bios and keeping these Medevacs alive, but as soon as the Vipers hit the field, I'm not sure how long they're going to last. So maxing out, it's actually going to be Richie that's moving a little bit more aggressively. He's going to need some really good splits because there's just so many Banelings. Yeah, it's going to be going up to 40 Banelings total. we are losing the grabs for free a little bit, which is not optimal. Even getting the Vipers harassed. Now the F2 from Richie comes through, hoping we can get some big bailing hits, otherwise he might be in trouble. Good blinding clouds on the tanks. But yeah, really shutting down so much of Richie's army. I feel like that's a really good trade for Risky, but especially when you're on so many bases and trading against someone who's only on 3. You can really trade really inefficiently like this. So he's going to get some Ultras hitting the field now. Just going to be a bit annoying with these bios, getting a medevac for free. It's not bad at all. Richie really feels like he has to keep pushing through. Obviously he does have the 4th CC on the way now with +3/+3, but you know, where's he going to land it? Because there's already creep, you know, basically at his 4th base. Another tank getting bioed down. Did we keep any of the Vipers alive? No, we lost all of the Vipers, but with Ultras out, you don't really need them. It's going to be a tough one for Richie. He's so deep on creep as well, and just like losing tanks over and over again to bios. We're just overstimming the Marines. We've not even got that many medevacs. 4 for 50 Marines is it's not what you want, and he's even having to switch into the into Liberators. Risky once again coming through with the big F2 on all the Banelings. I think he just trades so inefficiently. This fight is it's really one-sided. These Ultras aren't even positioned well. He's just really collapsing on Richie's army quite easily. I just think this is going to be rinse and repeat for Risky. He's, you know, just going to keep maxing out and A-moving over and over and over again. He's going to struggle maybe to push further. No, never mind. The tanks are getting biled down so easily. Even losing medevacs to the vials. You know, when there's Ultras in your natural, it's a bit of a rough one, I will say. Yeah, losing everything to vials. And GG is called. Bad luck for Richie. Let's see now, do we have... Okay, so we can do losers match. It's not going to work because we didn't have a lower bracket from Group A. And then we can go for, yeah, the finals, which would just be Richie versus Risky again, I would guess. So we don't really need to play that. So that's going to be Risky out of that group first. I guess Richie second, but I'm not really sure how this... how it works when when we not sure how it works when somebody doesn't show up.